Second topic for this week, the top of the draft. And I do think there has been a little separation at quarterback. And I think if you talk to most teams, you'd say the top two players in this draft are Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. Obviously, quarterback's almost a separate category with the way the position's valued in the NFL. And so, okay, like where are the quarterbacks now? I think coming out of Indianapolis, you're looking at a Cam Ward and then a gap. Here's the reason why. In today's NFL, and particularly if you're an AFC team, you have to chase ceiling. And if you're an AFC team and you're Tennessee draft picking 1 or you're Cleveland picking 2, you're looking up at that mountain. And what's at the top of that mountain? It's Patrick Mahomes, it's Josh Allen, it's Joe Burrow, it's Lamar Jackson. Then if you go a little bit down the mountain, what do you have? You have CJ Stroud, you have Trevor Lawrence, you have Justin Herbert. Maybe you have Drake May, maybe you have Bo Nix. Like you're going to have to you have to win consecutive games in the playoffs against quarterbacks like that if you're in the AFC. And so I think Cam Ward's the guy that you can chase that with. He's the guy you can chase ceiling with because he does some things that can't be taught. And the question with him is going to be consistency. It was very inconsistent at Washington State. It became more consistent at Miami. He had a better team around him. So you are projecting with Cam Ward after his 5 years in college, but you're at least looking at him and saying you have that ceiling. I don't think that's the case with Shedeur Sanders. And that's why I would compare the spot that Shedeur Sanders is in right now a little bit to where Bo Nix was last year. Shedeur doesn't have a top shelf NFL arm. He isn't a great athlete. He did some things in college and escaping where you have to ask the question, is he going to be able to get away from defensive players the same way he was at Colorado? There are a lot of questions about what sort of quarterback he's going to be in the pros and how he projects to the pros. Is he big enough? Does he have a big enough arm? Is he a good enough athlete? A lot of these questions were being asked of Bo Nix. And that's why this year, last year at this point, there were a lot of teams that didn't even look at Bo Nix as a first rounder. What did Bo Nix need to do to get in the first round? He had to find the right fit. And Denver looked at it, and Sean Payton doesn't care what everybody else thinks. Sean Payton doesn't give a crap what other teams' quarterback evaluations are. And Sean Payton had Bo Nix, and the Broncos had Bo Nix as the second quarterback in the entire draft class behind only Jaden Daniels. And they felt like he was perfect for what they wanted to do, and they were proven right. Shedeur Sanders right now is in that position. There are a lot of teams that do not view him as a first-round pick. And for him now, he's tough, he's smart, he's a lot of production in college. He's got to go find that fit now, the same way that Bo Nix found that fit in Denver. So I think that's where Shedeur is. Again, I'd say Cam Ward, gap, Shedeur. And the gap between Cam and Shedeur is probably bigger for a lot of people than the gap between Shedeur and Jackson Dart. And then you're talking about a grab bag at the position. But I do think Cam Ward has separated himself for most people as the top quarterback in this entire draft class.